new members, but Glazides is gone. I'm sure a couple other men stepped down. It's like, as fans, we're never going to know exactly what they do, but it's a lack of really, like I know Edu's director of football, I know Vinay and Raul, they kind of sign off on things, and you got the legal man, Hosfami. But what are you lot actually doing? Because when you're seeing, again, I'm going to keep saying this, the Dennis Suarez's and things, for me, the scouting, strategy, it don't look like a coordinated thing. Like you see with Klopp, it's a tenacious sort of player. I want this sort of profile. Go out and get me that. Like we're getting poetry, emotion, then we're doing this and that, and then have you noticed no one that we've signed has really banged immediately because we're not giving them the facilities.
It's like we're doing what we can.
That's it. Not what we should. So yeah, 100.
Because even Emery, when he said Fabinho, and when he said Partey, and he said Maguire, and he said another name as well. Yeah, these are the names that we'd want as fans, or at least would want us to go for.
Go for sort of thing.
So for him to say, or for that to be exposed, that that's the players he wanted, and then instead we got for him Torreira, Guendouzi.
Apparently, didn't want Lichtsteiner as well.
Yeah,
we wanted
so
a proper
it's like we have to look above now. That goes back to the manager again. Arteta will come as the head coach, and the more I look into the head coach role, it means that they have no say in the personnel coming in. So we Raul, Vinay, Edu, not Edu because he's only been here since summer, but Raul and Vinay especially, they've got a lot of the blame to hold for the Emery thing. Because they're the ones that supplied the players. Still didn't sort the spine out. So what's
going on?
And if they're fucking about again, they've replaced Gazidis in that old structure. Yeah. That's the second structure Kroenke has put in place that hasn't worked.
That hasn't banged. Yeah. So wrap this up. Last question somebody asked me before the phone froze, so I'm not looking at a blank screen, people. Someone asked you, obviously with Lacazette right now, for me, he's probably plan B striker. I think we just need one striker, two wingers, find some balance right now. When we're playing well, we can do other things. But somebody asked you, do you think he could benefit playing behind him? Like it won't obviously be a camera, probably more support striker. I guess it'll probably end up as a 4-4-2. But would you support? Let's just say where Ozil is playing. Let's just dumb it down. Where Ozil is, would you slap Lacazette where Ozil is?
Yeah, I think we talked about it before. I would, because at the end of the day, Ozil hasn't worked there in 2 years. Ceballos doesn't seem to work there as much as he might work just behind the centre mid positions. I believe he probably worked better there.
Yeah, like a deeper, more.
Yeah, maybe try him with the combinations. But number 10 position or that cam position, I think Lacazette's got the brain and the determination to get it done and get it right. He already drops off a hell of a lot as a striker and goes into our own half, and you don't want that from your striker.
Yeah, ineffective really.
If he's in that position, then maybe it would be better. At the end of the day, why not try it? Because Laka and Oba do get along well. Maybe it hasn't worked with Oba on the wing because it nullifies his threat.
It kind of kills him.
So why not try that? Because at the end of the day, a decision's going to have to be made in the next 6 months to a year about which one we're keeping, which one we're going with, what's going on with contracts and whatnot. So
if both,
let's find out now if one of these things work, and that's the last thing we can really try.
Yeah. I back that, to be fair. I back that. My problem is I had to question my own logic with supporting this, because when I think of Ozil, yeah, he covers ground and he might be unfair in terms of application and stuff, and statistically, but it's like Lacazette, he's not exactly, he drops in that, but he's not exactly mobile and stuff. So if I put him in my midfield after I've been talking about tenacity and stuff, does it make me a hypocrite?
He's got a drop of the shoulder and stuff though. Like what Lacazette does well
hold
sometimes.
Up play as well.
Yeah, he knows how to roll off a guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes look how. Don't ever get it twisted, I'm not comparing the two, but rolling off in the middle works in centre mid. Look at Kevin De Bruyne rolling off Guendouzi for this third goal.
Yeah.
Just a double roll pass, you roll the defender
and then done the rest,
And that's such an it's easy, but at the same time it's not common.
Yeah.
Because you've got to have some guile to it, and I think Lacazette does have some guile. Obviously, he's nothing like what Ozil was in his prime, and he will never be that sort of a player. But at the same time, you need different things in this day and age camp. And Lacazette might not be the one we want moving forward, but he might be the striker we need moving forward. So we can't be pissing him off while not knowing what Oba's doing with his contract.
Yeah, doing with his contract,
So it's all mad.
Which one would you... I know I said the last question, but you literally just said, if it came to it, Oba, Laka, which one are you clipping and keeping?
if the contract situation stayed the same, it's going to have to be Oba needs to go in the summer.
Like if you had to beg one, yeah, alright, you kind of answered. I was going to say if you had to beg one to stay, or they said one has to go because we don't want to give an outlay.
Yeah.
Which one you keeping? So you
I'd say.
That's why I asked you because it's fucking difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can't just say immediately this.
Laka brings more in a tough game. Whereas Oba kind of goes quiet in a tough game. Because he's on the
peripheral things. It's never been him it's not his skill set. I don't know, man. It's because it's like, it's tough, car. Laka, and they're both my guys. Like, I love Laka. People get onto him. On one hand, I just put myself in the manager's shoes, bro. It's like, in August, when I'm looking around my squad, who's going to confirm me do certain things?
Yeah.
I see Aubameyang, I see 20 league goals minimum. I see Lacazette, I see all the good play, but there's not really any assurances from him. Like you mentioned, he drops deep and whatnot, and I like that from him. But is that a reason he's not a 20 goals a season striker because he's in ineffective areas?
Yeah, I get you.
And like, would we have signed him?
To be honest, I actually still to this day, I don't think Laka's had a fair trial up front. I think that anytime...
Yeah, he's done dirty a lot.
Yeah, he's been done dirty by Wenger. First 6 months, he came off from the 70th minute every game. January, we signed Oba, he dropped to the bench.
I'm sure he was doing up... Laka was doing up wing at some point as well.
Yeah,
Arsenal,
they tried him, I think on the... I don't know where it was, but they tried to put Oba as the focal point and Laka in and around him.
And it just
didn't work. Obviously, he didn't get selected by France, and then he comes back into the new season on the bench again. Oba starts, and he fights back into the squad. So it's like we didn't. Again, it's the platform we're given. Oba has excelled because Oba is very much a poacher as well as a good striker. He knows how to get on the end.
He knows where to be. Yeah, he knows where to be. Yeah,
Laka's not the best at getting on the very end of stuff.
I think his lack of pace kills him as well.
Yeah, but he's a lot better at the build-up. And if we were more fluid, if we had midfielders that could break the lines, his movement and his dropping in,
his intelligence would all
run off, and then you play 1-2s and whatnot. Because the platform we have right now is so poor in transition,
you can forget about all that.
Because we've got Oba up top scoring, the only goals we do score this year seem to come from him. Well, Laka scored 3 in the last few games, which is a shame to why he's been dropped. But I get it, one of them had to be dropped. So for me, I'll go with actually Laka.
It's an interesting one, you know, because I can't, like you said, you can't really knock that logic. I mean, Laka might be the one to keep, and I must admit, I've changed towards more camp Aubameyang because I feel, he might be 30, 31, but my logic is, if you give him his deal, if you improve midfield like you said, improve defence like I said, really be on some stuff, then you can ride with Aubameyang for 2 to 3 years while you identify that next striker, and you can ride with that. So that's my logic. But
who'd work better with Pepe though?
I'd say both, you know, because on one hand I see Laka, he would drop and whatnot, but I think they're not similar. Aubameyang and Pepe aren't similar, but I feel the pace, like you said, like we don't understand both players. Really, they're different, but they want to get in behind, or they kind of don't necessarily want balls to feet. Like Pepe's a good baller, but it's kind of ineffective
as well.
So I think them two would be good, man. Like if they could improve their combination play, like you know, Aubameyang, he likes to kind of work the channels here and there. I think probably Aubameyang and Pepe, you know.
Yeah.
Probably, but I think Pepe is probably more likely to score more goals if it was Lacazette and Pepe, purely because I think, like you said, Laka's on the dropping deep. Yeah, like Aubameyang won't be involved, but until you obviously see the ball.
Yeah.
It's a good question, man. But thanks for that, my guy, man. Like I said, people, we've covered everything. I've come here with the guy. He's given you Arteta, Aubameyang. He's even popped in his own questions to his own. He's meant to be here to be interviewed, and he's interviewing. There's no rules, but it's been a pleasure, bro. We got to do this another time, and man. Thanks for having me again, guy in your house.
We have to we keep on saying it, but
it's time to start doing it now.
Yeah, man, we have to.
People, Deluded, I'm back again. Like I told you guys on Twitter, I was gonna be here with my good friend Turkish Goonner, bro.
Come on.
And I asked you guys for some questions and just talking points in general. So I thought, you know what? Let me pick his brains. Now I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm just gonna get straight into it. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. I've got them printed off from the fans and whatnot. They've said, please talk about there's apparent senior players having an issue with Arteta already before he's even our manager. And I think that's off of some report saying players didn't want him or something.
Yeah. To be honest, you know me, dude. I don't pay too much mind to these reports and stuff. I barely believe anything surrounding Arsenal. I can't lie to you, man. The media play off the fans. What do you call it? sensitivity, I guess.
Sensitivity, emotions, raw emotions.
Yeah,
headlines, yeah. Just passion for the team and whatnot.
Obviously, Aubameyang's brother today posted a comment underneath the AFTV picture, innit? So that, you can relate to that headline, I guess, because...
Give him something. You've given them something to work with. Really.
Yeah,
you've added fuel to the fire, sort of thing.
100%. I'm not saying Oba does agree with him,
but there's a talking point that doesn't need to be a talking point.
100%. For him to have the base to put it online, it must have been discussed with his brother already.
Yeah, and I say for me, the scariest thing is that it's not even the scariest thing because Willie Aubameyang, I believe his name is. He's allowed his opinion. Like if you put my last name or your last name, it's not a thing. But it's like you've got to be smarter. It now opens up talking points like, well, is that what Aubameyang legitimately feels? I'm not saying he's sinister, but is Aubameyang giving him the information and putting out his talking points? Does he legitimately feel like that? Like, should Aubameyang tell him to rein in? Because we know he's Aubameyang for obvious reasons. With some fans, he's a target with the troops relationship and relations with AFTV and certain fans. It don't really make sense. But I don't know. I'll probably speak for you as well when I say, none of these players really have a foot to stand on in when they talk about they don't want this manager and that manager. I get that. They're allowed concerns like us as fans, but they've got to pull it out. They've been nothing. Shit is a nice word to us right now. They've been shit, so what can you talk about?
100%. That's my thing. I don't actually agree. I agree with what he said, but I don't agree with him saying it. He should have kept it on the wraps first and foremost because it's just something we don't need around the club right now. But at the same time, AFTV is apparently something we don't need around the club right now. The fan base is something we don't need. Everything is wrong with the club right now.
Just toxic in all aspects.
And when it comes to the players, at the end of the day, when Freddie took over, I expected to see more energy, more determination, more heart. And I haven't really seen that. I can't lie, I haven't really seen that. Obviously, the introduction of Martinelli has brought that individually. But the rest of the players can't look at themselves and say they've been trying harder under Ljungberg. And essentially they should be. Because as much as I say they are shit after most games this season, there is quality there. There's players there that have done things before. So what's happened now that they're not? Do you get me? But at this stage, I don't care for none of them. I can't lie. I don't care for any single one of them anymore. I like some more than others, but I don't care for anyone.
None of them. So like, no one's indispensable essentially by you. They can all keep it moving. I echo all the comments you said, really and truly. Like, obviously, back to Arteta, I would have liked a more experienced manager, but he deserves a chance until he shows something else. The players, like you said, I don't know what it is because take away the fans, the club, and whatever. There's enough. You're human beings. You're prideful. Professional athletes, 100%. Alpha males. You should want to be playing football. Want to have not want to lose.
That's the problem. Are they alpha males?
They've got to be because they're professional athletes, bro. Like,
Bellerin is definitely not alpha.
It's got to hurt you. It's got to hurt you. Like, think about it. Me and you, rightly or wrongly, we critique these players. Think about if you was watching you, if you was legitimately trying, like if you was legitimately trying and you was getting something, you would hurt. You'd be like, alright, cool. Turkish is chatting shit about me. Next game, you're gonna see what I'm on. But you're seeing people get scared and all of these things. So it's like, I think they're prideful, but what they're playing for, like, and I always think someone that's got no pride, you're a scary individual because. Forget the fans. For me, when you're playing football, you should be playing like this is going to get taken from you. One, it's going to get taken from you.
Yeah.
Two, you should be like all the hardship your family and all these people put in for you to be professional footballers. At least replicate that and put in a good performance of yourself. Because, like I said, imagine someone said they're taking away football from you, like you can never kick a ball again.
Yeah.
None of them play like it's the last sort of thing.
They got pride, but they're soft at the same time.
That's it. You said
they get offended by the wrong things. Like look at Xhaka get offended by online comments. How much negativity do me and you get? I'm not saying it's on the same level as Xhaka.
And we're not saying he deserves it either.
Yeah, I'm not. No one does from people behind the screen.
Purely constructive criticism.
Exactly, that's it. But with Xhaka, it's like, because people online are talking shit to you, you've come out and talk shit to the fans that essentially help pay for you. And support some of you, support you as well. And support you and have supported you for 3 years through utter shite anyway. Yeah. Do you get me? So like these players, I get you. They do have pride in a sense because they walk around chest out most time. But you just don't see it until they walk on the pitch, and that's when their heads go and their heads drop and whatnot. Chest collapse. Like.
And again, before anyone misconstrues anything we're saying, we're not talking about the vile abuse Xhaka went through his family and all of these things, purely football. And it's not even just Xhaka.
And this is the problem with the internet now as well. Deluded had to do that.
Yeah.
Why should he have to do that? Like,
people need to read between the lines sometimes.
Do I have to tell you that I disagree with people getting onto his child and his wife? I shouldn't need to tell you I disagree with that. Do you get me? Obviously, man disagrees. Like, you gotta disagree with that.
You can't. No decent human being is gonna condone that.
Because of how the internet is now, and it's not just the internet; it's everywhere. You see it on TV now. This whole generation is soft now.
Yeah.
This whole generation takes everything the wrong way.
Offended about the wrong things, the right things you should be standing up against. Exactly. We're not on it. It makes no sense.
Exactly.
It makes no sense. Obviously, this is actually off the topic, but it's in my head now. We was having a discussion about like the spine of our team and shit, and you mentioned that we know our defense is poor, but you mentioned midfield. If you could only strengthen one in January, one area, defense or midfield, which one?
Midfield.
Why so?
Because we've just got cool. People will argue that our defense is shit, but we've got defenders. Our midfield is also shit. Or the combinations are shit. Individually, okay, they're not shit individually. I mean, I'm talking about Torreira in particular and Guendouzi in particular. But they're young. The most experienced man, in my opinion, isn't good enough.
Exactly. I equal that.
And it's a big area in the pitch for me right now that's causing problems, because the transition, even Ljungberg highlighted it every single game, saying our transition.
Yeah, he keeps name dropping that specifically.
Defensively and offensively. Like, he's not talking about one side. And at the end of the day, the midfielders have a lot to do with that transition. They are the focal point of the transition.
They're essentially the nucleus of the team, the heartbeat of the engine.
Yeah, so for me, I think as much as defensively we've been poor as well, the midfield has been poor in distributing it to the attack as well, because our attack has quality. They just don't get enough touches, and they don't get the ball enough one-on-one or over the top enough. For me, you see Pepe and Oba peeling off the shoulder a lot.
Don't play to strengthen that. So what's the point? Yeah, what's the point? Yeah.
You get me? Like, if you see Liverpool, they get it to Mane and Salah immediately, so they're one-on-one with defenders.
Exactly. Yeah.
If Pepe was more one-on-one with defenders, you might see a different side to him. But now he's picking up. He's 1-on-2 or 1-on-3 even at times.
And it's all dead.
From there, he looks laughable, because he'll try a skill or he'll try a trick and it doesn't bang. But at the end of the day, we're not giving him Oba
anything to work with,
and that goes down to Ozil as well, because Ozil's been poor since he's come back. 7 games now he's come back. What the fuck has he done? What chances have we created? Like, he's part of that midfield, so we need someone in that midfield.
Also, it's good you said that, because I'd include Ozil in that sort of thing where you said with the transitional players, because when you said Ozil, I thought, I mean, we know the game's left Ozil, but for me, if you're going to have any fragment of Ozil playing well, you need that pivot. And I think, now that you've said that, you're slowly converting me personally. Like, there's no right to, but you're converting me into saying midfield first. Yeah, like we said off this, for me, if we can't find Vieira, but that sort of profile, big, composed, and as good as Vieira was tackling and whatnot, and the tenacity, the technical ability to match. But for me, I can't lie to you, you're 100% facts. Like you said, both, but for me, it's the defence, because I can't stand the defence. Like, all your comments about midfield I share, but it's like, I can actually look at our midfielders terribly up. It genuinely pains me to see specifically the centre halves. Like, I can't take it. Like, Holding's the only one I'll move forward with, but he's capped. Right now, he's a squad donny at best. I don't care if it's 2.5 million, bro, or 250 million. I need a centre half, bro. Like, they're too dead. Like, all of them. This is what I'm saying. It's like, when I do up the maths with midfield, like, they've got bad habits, bad pivots and whatnot.
We just don't have enough.
And that's it. That's why I think you're converting me to the midfield thing, because especially if Xhaka is going to leave in January, it's been quiet about now, we're going to be light. But for me, the defence is just kalam. The one thing I'd probably try to do is I'll try to run David Luiz in central midfield again, because I mean,
because he only got 20 minutes that day. But
and he looked half decent.
We need to try that, because he's not working out at the back. At the end of the day, he knows how to protect the position that he's most used to.
Exactly. And like you said earlier with Leno as well, like you said, Leno's not being protected. Like, piggybanking off that point you made, that's one reason I want the defence card. You sign Leno, what's in front of him? Like, what wall have you given him? Like, Leno is making bare saves, but Arsenal keeper shouldn't be top saves in the Premier League and all these things. You should have he's not been given anything to work forward with.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about United, but Sir Alex Ferguson banged on about foundation of success is to defend. You build a team. It's like a house. Yeah. Arsenal have, like, we're talking about roofing and tiles, and we've not got no asbestos preventing things, or no our walls aren't plastered properly, and the foundation's not.
Never buy right.
Never buy right. Mismanagement.
Last 10 years, we need something. We'll buy the other position.
Who you think's been the worst signing? Let me not say 10. That's hard.
Last what?
5, 6.
5, 6. What year are we in now? 2019. So that goes to 2013.
Let's say 4, because that's a bit mad.
Yeah, because I was trying to see if Andre Santos.
Yeah, that's the first thing that's in my head. Like him.
Funnily enough, he came in with Arteta as well.
yeah. And Mersak, who's technically on the book team now.
Yeah. Last 4 years, our worst signing. It's got to be Mustafi, man.
Yeah.
Mustafi and Xhaka are tied.
No, do you know what? I say Mustafi because he's been dead. But I'd have to... well, not necessarily the worst, but in terms of it being poor business, Denis Suarez. Because it's only fair enough, it's a loan, 5 million, it's not the biggest, but whether Emery wanted him or the board... What going for that signing? Like, he didn't offer that
free.
Yeah. This is after
that's 4 years, bro.
It's dead. Wait, when was that Park year?
That was the same year Arteta.
Him, Rio Miyachi, all these guys that didn't bang.
Yeah, 8 years ago or something like that.
Who?
7, I don't know when it was.
Who's been your biggest disappointment, and if you can say, plus player this season, or someone there's been some credibility, or like if you was to sit all of them in a room and say, yo, let's review your performances, what's the one you'd have the most positive report card sort of thing?
Most positive and most
negative.
Disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, they're all disappointing. So
most positive this season for me is Guendouzi. He's been poor at times.
To be fair,
he's been poor at times. But
people say you don't like Guendouzi.
My thing is with him is he's never gonna master a certain art in the game. He's not gonna be the best creator. He's not gonna be the best striker of the ball. He's not gonna be the
tenacious
most
and that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
He's got attributes that can get him to the very top, because he's got a lot of heart and desire and determination at 20 years old. So imagine when he goes into his prime, and if his ambition grows with his age, then he'll want trophies.
He won't be here long. He doesn't.
It looks like his mind is mature at a young age, especially on the football pitch. At times, he holds the ball too long and whatnot. But when you think about it, for a youngster to hold the ball too long, it's quite good. You could say overconfidence, but it's better to be overconfident young and than
a pussy, really.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, the most positive has been Guendouzi, but it's a shining light in a pile of shit, really.
Yeah. Just a bit of like glittered sparkles on some shit on the roadside. Yeah.
Most disappointed. It can go to a lot of players, I think a lot of people would probably say Pepe because of what they're expecting and whatnot. But for me, like I said before, we didn't provide the right platform.
So how can you? It's unfair to really just say.
Yeah. So for me, it's got to be most disappointed. It's got to be Xhaka. Because even though I don't expect much from him, he's had another summer where he's talked the talk
and failed to walk it again.
And
normally
he was made captain, and look what's happened.
Yeah.
And he's in the middle of the pitch. He's the most experienced in there,
and he's still making the same errors, switching off in the same way.
Ozil, his reputation is done for me. But at least in the summer, I thought, all right, Jackie, you've been poor for years, but maybe now we can
move forward with you, sort of thing.
It didn't work for him under Wenger.
He thought new manager, there might be something else against him.
He believes in you a lot, and Emery believed in him.
He backed him.
He didn't improve, so it's like for me, he's the most. Yeah, I'm most disappointed in him.
I'd say for me, most promising. I'd say it's between 3. What you said about Guendouzi, spot on. I think it's a gift and a curse that people get onto him for being 20. Like he's shown more heart, more desire, damn right, more consistency than man that have been here for years. So I'm prepared to persist with someone that's shown that bravery. I think he's one of them. When he plays good, he's good. When he plays terrible, he's terrible. So he's got to find balance. But I'd say he'd probably come 3rd. But I'd say probably Leno and Aubameyang for best performance, because Aubameyang hasn't necessarily been amazing, but in terms of goal scorers, scoring goals, he's there. Leno's not perfect. We always speak about Leno.
I like Leno, man.
But at the end of the day, saving shots, innit? He's not. It's you must be really poor if a keeper concedes 3 goals and we're saying, yo, that's our best done.
He was our best player.
He was our best player. Yeah, it's mad. Like
100%.
I'd say them. I think Torreira's been so/so okay when he has played, but that's just another point. Disappointing. Socrates, you know.
That was another one I could have said.
Socrates.
He didn't build on last season either.
Yeah, for me, no, I mean, like, everyone's terrible and I'm not scapegoating him, but for me, he's the one that I'm really not happy with because, remember when we signed him and I was saying to you, like, I think he's going to be dead, this and that. I ate humble pie, I was like, alright, cool, I can't judge him on that, he's doing alright. But from pre-season, I've clocked him, he's not looked the same, just looked shaky, and he's just, can't see why we play him.
He's been a letdown.
Why do we play him on the left-hand side as well? And we try
so poor on that side, yeah.
And we're trying to play up from the back, bro. So where's the sense?
It's not even like it's again the platform we give these players has never been never been the best, but it's not great. Like
it's not great, yeah.
He shouldn't be on the left. We know he's not had a great season, but then to put him on the left of a back 3 or a back 2 just doesn't make sense.
And Luiz as well, but you see with Luiz, I feel Luiz. I don't know, would it be fair to say Luiz is probably giving you better games this season or better periods or something than him? Probably that.
Because he's got more passing range, he's got a bit more about him.
You just know he's going to do dumb stuff. I think I've got another question. Let's ask you another in-depth question about Arteta. There's been a couple. Somebody said, what do you expect from Arteta? Firstly, what do you expect from Arteta? What philosophies and I guess all of that sort of thing do you think he'd bring? So just your opinions on this appointment and everything else.
So he liked playing football when he was a player, innit? Like, even though he wasn't the greatest player and he was more of a efficient passer than anything.
Than anything else, yeah.
His Spanish roots, he enjoyed playing football. And a lot of his quotes from his playing career were about good football, were about passing, were about possession, commitment, desire. So all the good things really that you'd hope to see in a manager. So I'm expecting under Pep, especially now, he must have honed in on that possession.
And really learnt some,
playing out the back. So I'm expecting to see modern football, but at the same time, obviously, there's a cycle for every. How do you say it? There's a cycle for every style, I'd say. That it wasn't too long ago that Mourinho's style was the in thing, and then Guardiola and
now it's kind of
Klopp. It's taken where Guardiola had a period, and Klopp seems like his rock and roll style.
Everyone wants to be tenacious, and even Wenger previously, everyone wanted poetry in motion, and you're right about the cycle thing.
It's about.
Do you think fans should get behind him?
I'd rather not. Yeah, of course you should get behind him, but it's a balance because you need to get behind him, but at the same time understand that it's not a clean slate for the board.
And this is why I came to interview Turkish, because that's where you had it. What did he just say? The board. I know you're itching to expand on the board specifically, man.
Yeah, because obviously, like, it's a new manager again, but what we're gonna do again next time, if form doesn't pick up, we've got Everton away next year. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're gonna drop points.
I hope to God you're wrong.
I hope to God I'm wrong, because I'm fucking driving up there, mate. Do you get me? Up at 7:30 in the morning, so I hope I'm wrong. But I just don't see it. We haven't given Arteta enough time to implement anything, even if he does come in the next couple of days. And he's going to be playing Ancelotti at home, and it's written. Us Arsenal fans know this shit happens. Ancelotti will win the game probably, and then Twitter will explode with "we should have got Ancelotti." We should have got him. One game into Arteta's reign, you get me? When in reality, if you think we should have got Ancelotti, the pressure still shouldn't be on Arteta. It should be on the people that hired.
Yeah.
Because it's not, Arteta didn't say, nah, don't go for him, go for me. They pick and choose who it is. So we can't be blinded by just the manager or just the players, because there has been fault in the players in the past 18 months. There has been fault in Emery in the past 18 months, or the past 6 to be precise. So obviously, there are moments there when we gave the Kroenkes a new chance, because it was our most successful transfer window in terms of
positive time. Be excited.
Yeah, and he came out and it looked like it's a new vision. So it was like, all right, it's not a clean slate, but it's like, all right,
we're kind of showing and improving something.
Yeah, and then the season starts and it all goes.
And it goes down the pisser again. Yeah.
For me, we can't focus on. If it's Arteta, we can't focus on whoever it is. Even if it was Simeone or Poch, my two that I want.
Yeah, you're very vocal on that.
It's still there's a limit to the success you can achieve at this squad with this board, and that limit is probably third place right now with looking at Man City and Liverpool.
Yeah.
With this board, we cannot pass into that bracket.
Yeah. At best, it's a consistent
and Wenger
top
showed
four
that.
side. Yeah, yeah.
That Wenger needed to go because he showed that and protected them.
And he was moving a bit mad. Yeah.
He wasn't honest enough with the fans to say, look, I'm working on a tightrope here. If he was honest with us, then we would have been like, hold on, this is our guy.
Yeah, doing him dirty.
Are you mad? How are you going to treat a man like that?
Patting him up, kind of helping him.
Took pay rises and done the same shit and ended up finishing 6th or whatever it was. So he had to go. So because I know a lot of people are going to say, but you wanted Wenger out, so why are you saying third and top four?
Yeah.
That's the limit.
Yeah, that's the limit.
And in 3 years we'll be talking about, we're top four now, but how do we move on?
How do we move forward? Hopefully we're talking about that.
Yeah, well, hopefully we are, but it's going to be the board again holding us back.
Well, you see the board. My problem is now, I'm not going to say